so. As the music plays, we invite you to just relax. Close your eyes, rest in the presence, and hold space.
Namo Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari. 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 Namo
Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome to our weekly online Satsang. Satsang being a Sanskrit word that literally means community of truth. But anytime two or more people on the path of awakening into oneness with the divine, with all that is, when we come together to share our journeys, to share our presence, to share our struggles, we have a satsang. And we're all strengthened exponentially by that. So glad you're here tonight as we work on shifting the world from the global insanity of competition, conflict, and war we're currently engaged in to a new earth and a new civilization rooted in cooperation, harmony, and peace. This can only come about through the awakening of the heart. And I meant the heart, not 8 billion hearts. We need the heart of humanity itself, the collective, to shift. And we're moving toward that one person at a time. So when you awaken, when we awaken, it sends ripples out into the collective consciousness, and the teeter-totter is tipping more and more into the direction of a global shift in consciousness. And that's what we're working toward. To that end, we share many tools and processes and a special transmission of awakened consciousness we call the Flowering Heart Blessing. Hridaya Vikasa Diksha. Flowering Heart Blessing. It's a direct transmission of divine awareness, enlightened awareness of spirit, of love, consciousness, grace, that catalyzes in us when we receive it, the process of awakening. If we're in that process, it melts blocks, it smooths and facilitates and hastens the journey. If we're already awakened, it'll take us deeper. It's truly a gift from the divine. We charge nothing for it. And when you've received it once, you are fully initiated to be able to share it with others. And since you're soaking in it right now, as we're sending it to you at a distance, that means you can join us in sending the Flowering Heart Blessing to all who join the webcast tonight, or anyone that ever views this recording in the future. For the Flowering Heart Blessing is spirit, and spirit is unbounded by distance or time. So it'll always be the same. When someone hits play on this video, there will be the presence, there will be the Flowering Heart Blessing for them. So just invite the divine to pour it through you. You don't even need to know what you're doing. In fact, none of us know what we're doing because the divine is doing it. If you'd like to know more, go to our website, floweringheart.org, and there's a 36-minute initiation video that explains the Flowering Heart Blessing with a little more depth and has a guided meditation. 36 minutes later, you are flooded with divine grace. It's very tangible. And if you don't have a blessing circle or group in your community, start one. Take that video on our website, download it, or just right there on the website, hit play. Invite a friend or two, and 36 minutes later, you'll all be ready to start sharing the blessing with one another. Let's see. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, please give us a heart or a thumbs up or some other emoji that expresses your feelings. We look after the webcast and in the days between now and next week to see who's dropped in to watch this video and to participate in the satsang. We send you special hugs and blessings. This coming Sunday is our monthly interfaith communion with the Cosmic Christ. It's interfaith because everyone is welcome, regardless of your beliefs or your spiritual background. You don't need to be a Christian, in other words. You can be anything if you're open to experience the God within, the Christ within. That's the Cosmic Christ. The Cosmic Christ is the one that Christians believe incarnated in Jesus of Nazareth 2,000 years ago, but it's an aspect of God that has always existed and always will exist. It's the spark of divinity at the heart of everything in creation that is pure love, pure mercy, healing, and holds the blueprint for spiritual transformation and evolution for us and for the universe itself. So, if you're attracted to the heart path and the Christ within, the God within, in India they might call it the Paramatma, please join us Sunday morning, 11 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's right here on Facebook Live. It's on Vimeo if that's where you're watching. And leave a comment if you're on Vimeo so we know you were there too. And it's also on LinkedIn and YouTube. You can find it all over the place. But you could also join us in person because the doors are open at Flowering Heart Center, and we have people who join us here in person for this interfaith communion service where we powerfully invoke the presence of the cosmic Christ. More and more people are experiencing Christ consciousness and a call to the path of the heart. If that's you, I think you might enjoy it. So that would be Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then a little less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks from this coming Saturday, we're having a 2-day retreat here. It won't be online. This is just at Flowering Heart Center because it's very intense and we want to work with you very directly. It's limited to about 12 people, so if you're thinking of coming, sign up. It's filling up pretty
Or at least
well.
half full. Yeah, over half full.
We're more than half full.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's November 8th and 9th, all day long, Saturday and Sunday, November 8th and 9th, here at Flowering Heart Center in Clearwater, Florida. Again, if you go to our website, floweringheart.org, right up at the top of the menu on the left with all the buttons is Diamond Heart Course. If you click on that, it'll take you to a page that tells you all about it and where you can register. If you've done it with us before, it's very reasonable. I'm not going to talk about money on now, but it's very reasonable, and if you've attended a previous Diamond Heart process, you can repeat the entire weekend for half price, which is like peanuts. Why do we call it quantum liberation? Well, when we speak of that, quantum liberation, we're pointing to the possibility of a sudden dramatic shift of reality. A quantum leap is an abrupt change, a sudden increase, or dramatic advance. Here's a simplified explanation of quantum physics, in case you weren't already an expert. I know I'm not. There is a field called the quantum field in which all possibilities exist. Belief causes the field to collapse into manifesting. A manifestation is not an immovable reality. So one's faith or intention or feeling can change what is manifesting. Basically, this is saying that all things are possible, but using scientific language. So, your current reality may be, I'm not enlightened, or God realized, or awakened, or anything like that. However, the quantum field we're talking about includes a possibility that you are awakened and God realized on some level, or can be, immediately. Clear the limited thinking, emotional charges and programming that stand in the way, and change your belief, your faith, or your intention, and zap, your reality manifestation shifts instantly. And now you're a realized being. Just like that. And it's true, it can be just like that. And our intent for the Diamond Heart Retreat is a quantum shift of reality for all participants. We speak also in the context of quantum awakening, something called direct awakening. Direct awakening manifests when the limiting idea I know it's out there somewhere, and someday I might find it or someone might give it to me, becomes it's all inside of me right now, right here, and I embrace that reality. And immediately the quantum field collapses into that manifestation. It's really that simple. There's a lot of work to do to clear the debris and open the doors, and that's what we do for 2 days. Concluding with 108 blessing, Diamond Heart Blessing Circle, which is, well, you just have to experience 108 blessings. So that's that. We like to open it at this point to questions and answers on the spiritual journey. That's your job, hopefully. Last week there weren't any. And if that happens, okay, you can just kind of float in the presence and enjoy yourself. But it gets, I think, more interesting when we ask questions about things we'd like more clarity, more insight about, that we may be encountering in our spiritual journey. And that moves the divine to pour inspiration through us to the group, and we all benefit. So while you're thinking about what you might ask, listen to that still small voice. There may be something there you're not thinking of. We're going to read some quotes from inspiringquotes.com. We love this little website where a group of authors writes timely, brief articles and then shares lists of quotes from influential people throughout history that shed light on that subject. Today we're going to be looking at 17 quotes to help you embrace imperfection, which shouldn't be hard. It's easy to find imperfection. This was written by Tony Donnell, an English writer of nonfiction and fiction living on the edge. I could stop right there. Tony lives on the edge, but actually he lives on the edge of the Amazon jungle, one of our favorite places. So here's what Tony has to say about embracing imperfection. The French dramatist and poet Alfred de Musset once wrote, "Perfection does not exist. To comprehend it is the triumph of human intelligence. To desire to possess it, the most dangerous of follies." Unquote. It may well be a folly or a futile task in more modern terms, but many of us still strive for perfection, whether at work, in our relationships, in our creative pursuits, or in our appearance. And this quest for perfection, no matter how impossible, renders us quick to notice and bemoan our imperfections. But what's wrong with being imperfect? After all, we live in an imperfect world, and it's still endlessly beautiful and awe-inspiring, even with its flaws. In fact, the world likely wouldn't seem as beautiful without its deficiencies, and the same can be said about ourselves. Besides, if we always wait for that elusive perfection, we may never reach our full potential. As the American author and educator Henry Van Dyke once wrote, quote, "Use what talents you possess. The woods would be very silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best." Here are 17 quotes about embracing imperfection from historical figures such as Cyrus the Great and Augustine of Hippo, as well as more modern folks, including Stephen Hawking and Beyonce. I almost feel like we read this before. But even if we did, take it in again. Just call it another case of imperfection. So, here we go. All men have their frailties. Whoever looks for a friend without imperfections will never find what he seeks. Cyrus the Great. Notice it says all men have their frailties. It doesn't say women. This is the very perfection of a man, to find out his own imperfections. Augustine of Hippo. Persuade thyself that imperfection and inconvenience are the natural lot of mortals, and there will be no room for discontent, neither for despair. Tokugawa Ieyasu. It is not worth the while to let our imperfections disturb us always. Henry David Thoreau. The important work of moving the world forward does not wait to be done by perfect men. George Eliot. There's no light without shadow, and no psychic wholeness without imperfection. To round itself out, life calls not for perfection, but for completeness. And for this, the thorn in the flesh is needed, the suffering of defects without which there is no progress and no ascent. Carl Jung. Imperfection is in some sort essential to all that we know of life. It is the sign of life in a mortal body. That is to say, a state of progress and change. Nothing that lives is or can be rigidly perfect. John Ruskin. Perfection is inhuman. Human beings are not perfect. What evokes our love is the imperfection of the human being. Joseph Campbell. One of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist. Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. Stephen Hawking, who said that at the creation of the universe, as the Big Bang took place and the universe began to express itself in form, there were 4 missing subatomic particles. And we owe that imperfection for the law of gravity. Except if there would be no gravity if those 4 microparticles, atomic particles, were not missing at the Big Bang. And without gravity, all of those exploding atoms and particles would not have glumped together and formed stars and galaxies and planets and you and me. We literally, as Stephen Hawking said, would not exist without imperfection. Quite an insight from a physicist, I think. And he was quite brilliant. There's nothing humiliating about it. It is human to feel imperfect. That was what you wanted above all else, to be human. And now that is what you are. The imperfections, the weaknesses, the imprecisions, they are the very things which define humans as human. Isaac Asimov and Robert Silverberg. There's something perfect to be found in the imperfect. The law keeps balanced through the juxtaposition of beauty, which gains perfection through nurtured imperfection. Everything that looks too perfect is too perfect to be perfect. Dejan Stojanovic. Everything is already perfect. And if you can accept that everything is already perfect, the imperfection is a part of the perfection. What's to worry about? Alice Walker. Or David Premal in one of the David and Maten's songs says, you are awakening. We are awakening to that perfect imperfection. People call these things imperfections, but they're not. That's the good stuff. Robin Williams as the character Sean in Good Will Hunting. Imperfection inspires invention, imagination, creativity. It stimulates. The more I feel imperfect, the more I feel alive. Jhumpa Lahiri. The thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. Anna Quindlen. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Beyonce. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Leonard Cohen. Wow, those quotes were marvelously imperfect. Well,
Quiet.
it's quiet. Well, unless somebody comes up with something you'd like us to address or talk about, we'll move right into our final blessings.
So all of those contemplations on imperfections reminds me when we first started hosting meetings and workshops and processes at the house. And, I felt like everything had to be perfect and everything super clean. And I was insecure about myself, and I thought people would be judging me because I was judging myself. And so I'd get really, really uptight right before the workshops and processes. And then I watched this comedian talking about getting ready for her in-laws to come visit. And she said she's scrubbing everything, cleaning everything, rewashing the sheets even though they were clean. I mean, just going through it with a fine-tooth comb. And then she said she realized she was laying on the bottom of a bathroom floor with a toothbrush, cleaning underneath the toilet. And she was like, now, who do you really think is going to be looking underneath your toilet? And she had this aha moment, and it made me really laugh. And so I started paying more attention and looking to my own insecurities and my own imperfections and having self-acceptance for it. I mean, people were just so grateful to be in such a homey environment in the energy field and the love and the processes and the growth that they weren't paying attention to, maybe a spot of spilled coffee on the floor from a process 10 years ago. It was, so I really relaxed and lightened up, and yay. So much easier to live that way.
It's so much more fun.
It is so much more fun.
Well, Yekaterina threw a question.
Yay.
The quantum field changes if we focus our attention on a particular thing. But I wonder if certain things are predestined. The simplest answer would be, if certain things are predestined, then you're predestined to put your attention on those things. But predestination, begs to be addressed. There are predictions, like Nostradamus predictions, prophecy, like in the Hebrew scriptures, in the Christian scriptures, and in other spiritual scriptures. Certain things the divine has spoken to humanity and said, this is just the way it's going to be. And yet, of course, not all predictions are engraved in stone, which is why astrology may do a really good job of telling you where you're at now, and all the planets and the stars and the celestial and cosmic convergences that are coming to bear in your life right now. What astrology doesn't do such a good job at is predicting how that's going to all turn out. It's how you play your hand. Destiny is generally not carved in stone. But there is a scripture that says, it's in, I think it's in the book of Romans, pretty sure. probably chapter 8, that says, speaking of God, those whom he foreknew, he predestined to be conformed to the divine image. Well, that's quite a mouthful. But there it speaks of foreknowledge and predestination. So God basically knows. God doesn't make you choose anything. You have free will. So you can choose to turn to the right, to the left. You can choose to do what is auspicious and life-giving, or you can choose to do things that are destructive and better off avoided. And God allows us that freedom. But from where God is sitting, the past, the present, and the future are all simultaneous. And hence, God sees what we're going to choose of our own free will down the road. To us, it might be next year or next week. To God, it's all right now. And so, when it says, those whom he foreknew, he predestinated to be transformed into the divine image. So, God will, when God knows that you're going to decide certain right choices along the way, he knows the direction you're going, and he will predestinate certain things in your path. And that's divine intervention, that's pure grace. So in that case, we couldn't really say that everything we experience is how we're feeling about the quantum field. Divine intervention is a reality that goes beyond what we can create, which is, we can create far more than we've ever dreamt. We share in the creative power of the divine. Also, those whom he foreknew would make terrible choices that would be very damaging sometimes, he will predestinate for them too. So there's less damage. It says in the Hebrew scriptures that people don't take it to heart sometimes when the righteous die young. We think, oh, that's terrible. But it says, we don't see that God has rescued that soul from something in their path down the road that would not be so good. And so God, loving that soul with such tenderness, rescues it. And that's another form of destiny. So that's a great question. And it is something of a mystery. And what can we change? Well, we're not absolutely certain, so we should try everything. I mean, we can't just sit back and go, oh, well, que sera, sera, what will be, will be. God is sovereign, so it's going to be whatever God says. That's true, but with additional understanding. That God said, whatever you allow on earth, I'll allow in heaven. I mean, not in heaven, but to take, heaven will allow what we loose upon the earth, what we bind upon the earth. Heaven will back us up. So we have the power to bind and to loose, which is pretty amazing, actually. So, Katerina says, I love divine intervention. Well, I do too. And it's a hugely important realization, because up to the point that we get that 99.999999999% of every good thing that happens that takes us to the light is the gift of the divine. It's grace. It's not earned, but God typically measures out grace to the soul that is seeking, to the soul that's working on themselves. There's a lot we can do to transform our world, binding bad things, binding war and loosing peace. There's a lot we humans can do in our own lives and on this planet. When we do that, God pours out grace in a special way. But when all is said and done, we can't say, ha, I did it. I learned the special mantra, I learned the special yoga, I meditated a certain way every day for hours for X amount of years, and I earned and produced enlightenment. It doesn't work that way. The door to oneness with Source opens from the other side, and it is the gift of the divine to the soul that has found favor. The good news is, from what we have discovered, it is the will of the divine to pour out awakening grace to every single sentient being in the universe. God's clearly expressed will is that all awaken and merge into oneness with Source.
I think too, we already are. We've just got so many obstacles to seeing it.
We already are what?
Awakened. But
Then
we've
we
got
don't need
so
to do
many
anything.
filters.
Well,
We've got so
back
many
to-
filters, so that's where the work begins. There's so many charges and programs and filters that are preventing us to loving ourselves unconditionally and loving others unconditionally.
My blind mind, rooted in blindness and ignorance and division, is not awakened. But my true essence,
Right.
and your essence is already fully awakened.
Right.
And that's what Suzanne is saying. That's already there. So the work is to remove the veils that are keeping us from seeing and realizing our true essence, which is a much more positive point of view than the idea it's not theirs. So somebody's going to have to give it to you someday. It's already there. You are, in your essence, the divine. A unique expression and manifestation. All 8 billion of us are quirky, strange manifestations of one supreme divine consciousness. It is important to see that and realize it. It brings such freedom and such release to know. And that's why some people call it, I think it's much better than enlightenment or awakening, refer to it as self-realization. Realizing your true self rather than being snared and trapped in and blinded by the false self, which is a formidable foe until we begin to do the work and the divine begins to pour out the grace that dissolves these veils and draws us into the realization of our true self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a great question.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Anybody else? Let's check over here. Okay.
All right.
All those people are in samadhi, so
Kind of
that's okay.
perfect timing.
Perfect timing. So, in imperfect, perfect timing, you could close your eyes and invoke the presence. The presence of which we speak, the divine presence, dwells within you in all of its fullness. It's been said by masters and mystics of many times and places that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. All of the reflections and the images of the divine in the vast outer world are a mirror of what is already present within you. And this divine presence dwelling in you in all of its fullness is all powerful, all knowing, all wise, and unconditionally loving you. There's been some bad teaching for a long, long time that we're separate from God, at a distance from God, that God is judging. And, God loves you unconditionally, no strings attached, like a parent, like a loving mother loves her child. The presence dwelling in you wants to free you from suffering and limitations, from ignorance and blindness, and illuminate your spiritual eyes to behold your true essence and your oneness with God. This presence wants to flood your spirit with light, flood your soul, your mind, and your emotions with divinely inspired ideas and images, thoughts and plans, and erase all of the nonsense that's been ruling our lives. It wants to shine and flood your physical body with healing, melting dis-ease. It wants to flow out into your relationships and make them right and heal them. It wants to shine through your life to make you a lighthouse to everyone you meet, that without even knowing what it is, just coming close to you, they're catalyzed and begin to awaken. Just give your consent to this all-powerful, all-loving being within you, and begin to receive and drink it in. Awakening, transforming, healing grace is pouring out to you right now. Drink it in. Breathe it in with every breath. Receive the love, the grace, the presence of the Supreme. The Divine already knows what you need and what you want. So just let go of all of the asking and the thinking, and just relax and receive the presence. Visualize us sitting in a circle together with our eyes closed. And lift up your hands with your palms open, facing forward, as we invite the Divine to pour through you and me and all of us the flowering heart blessing. Pour the blessing through us, dear Divine. Let it flow through us to all the others sitting in the circle with us. As we know it's flowing back to us through all of them. Now visualize the earth, the translucent blue living planet in the middle of our circle. And let us take a strong intention together for peace and healing to flood the earth and the lives of all sentient beings on this planet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. When you're ready, just relax your hands and rest them in your lap somewhere and open your eyes and begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. Just keep gazing at least one of our eyes. Don't look away. As we dive into the light meditation, Suzanne and I are flooded with oceans of divine love, grace, and light pouring out to you, especially flowing through our eyes, the windows of the soul. So when you just keep looking, the light flows out through our eyes, in through your eyes, into your heart of hearts, to cause the light of awakening and the fires of divine love to grow brighter and brighter and brighter within you. Just keep looking and allow yourself. with us for a few more minutes as the grace settles within. Now keep meditating as long as it feels good to you. Or find a place to lie down nearby in Shavasana. Shavasana is a pose, a yoga pose, where you lie comfortably on your back with your eyes closed, your arms loosely at your sides with your palms open, turned upward. And just let yourself dissolve with gratitude in the present. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know the divine in us beholds the divine in you. And we bow to you. Namaste.